This baboon went crazy. On the Tonight Show stage, when Johnny tried to get too close.
Doc, on your chair. On your
And this baby gorilla couldn't stop playing with Johnny Carson's hair.
A big boy.
Just a little off the top.
Here are the times animals turned the Tonight Show into pure, unpredictable comedy. Starting with number 10, the mischievous baby gorilla. Joan Embery brought a baby gorilla onto the Tonight Show in 1984, and the animal announced its intentions within seconds of arriving.
He's really cute.
Constant motion, no interest in staying calm, and a focused curiosity about Carson's face that it pursued with both hands and considerable enthusiasm. The gorilla investigated him closely.
Be when he's really difficult to handle. It's not going to be long, like maybe tomorrow, the end of the week. It only weighs about 8 or 10 pounds.
She weighs about 10 pounds.
I just said that.
And
Does he ever stop moving?
Adjusted its grip, and then went further than anyone in the studio had prepared for, making contact with Carson's hand in a way that stopped the segment cold. Carson's reaction said everything.
she's fairly active right now. She
No
sleeps a
kidding.
good part of the day.
The careful, measured alarm of a man who had just been reminded that even a small gorilla operates on its own terms, combined with the awareness that millions of people were watching him process that realization live, produced an expression that the audience recognized immediately.
I think so.
He handed the gorilla back to Embery with the calm deliberateness of someone who had made a decision and intended to follow through on it, and the studio responded accordingly.
Why did he do that?
She's just a... She's
They only eat fruits and vegetables.
The arc of that segment, charming to chaotic, was the kind of television that writers spend careers trying to manufacture, and none of it was planned. Number 9. The Kinkajou. By 1982, Jim Fowler had earned his place as one of the most reliably entertaining guests in Tonight Show history.
It's from the tropics. This is a night.
Obviously, the smell of olives attracts him.
Built on years of co-hosting Mutual of Omaha's Wild Kingdom and a talent for bringing animals onto that stage that genuinely had no idea what a television studio was. The Kinkajou he brought in 1982 fit that pattern perfectly.
On this new coat, he does anything on this new coat? Is this going to be a dead kinkajou?
If you eat it, he'll take it and then go with it.
Right on.
Anyways.
Native to the rainforests of Central and South America, related to the raccoon, nocturnal by nature, equipped with a prehensile tail and a set of sharp teeth, and thoroughly curious about everything within reach, the Kinkajou arrived on Carson's set and immediately identified a banana as its top priority.
Well, they have very sharp teeth.
No, the question, Jim, was, are they dangerous with their sharp teeth?
No, I don't. I think as long as he's on that banana, he's all right. But don't pick him up. I'll pick him up.
What followed was the animal exploring the desk, the set, and the general surrounding area with the confident energy of something that had no concept of cameras or audiences or the fact that millions of people were watching.
Do I have to peel it for him?
No, he'll do a pretty good job of that.
Yes, he is. Right down to the fingers there. All over my very expensive... Why don't you take this animal, Jim?
Carson observed all of it with quiet, building delight, offering remarks about the challenge of keeping composure while something that interested in its surroundings moved freely around him. Fowler, as always, narrated the chaos without losing a beat.
Hey, Kinkajou, come on now.
New first-time Warren on the show, and you bring out a sloppy kinkajou.
Drawing on the calm of someone whose career had put him in situations considerably more alarming than a curious rainforest mammal on a talk show set.
Come on.
Get that.
The two of them together had developed something close to a double act by this point, and the kinkajou gave them everything they needed to run it. Number 8. The two bear cubs. Jim Fowler walked onto the Tonight Show stage with two young black bear cubs raised at Cugill Ranch. And before he did anything else, he gave Carson a very specific instruction.
I'm going to have to ask you. Johnny, I'm going to have to ask you to hold them again. Give them the bread, but if they try to take it away from you, don't take it back from them. Okay?
Feed the cubs pieces of bread, Fowler told him, and under no circumstances attempt to take that bread back once a cub had it in its mouth. The reasoning was clear enough. A bear cub, even a small one, does not return food it has already claimed.
Give them the bread. And
Give them the bread.
Yeah, that's right.
Will they open it?
I think so. I'm going to give you a sample, all right?
Right, bread coming, bread coming. Bread coming.
And Fowler wanted Carson's hands to remain in their current condition. Carson understood. Fowler stepped away to retrieve another animal, and Carson was left alone on stage with two lively, hungry bear cubs and a supply of bread.
No, that's no.
I think you got a little coffee problem.
Yeah, hey.
What unfolded was Carson following those instructions with careful, deliberate attention, feeding the cubs piece by piece, and making absolutely sure he had no intention of testing what Fowler had warned him about.
Here's the bread. Here's some bread. Bread. I've got him under control, Jim.
The tension of a man genuinely trying to follow a wildlife expert's safety instructions while keeping an audience entertained produced exactly the kind of television that cannot be manufactured, only stumbled into.
Just put that on.
What?
Yeah, don't try to take it away.
Don't try to take it away from him, right? Some bread. Bread for everybody.
Number 7. The pygmy marmoset. Joan Embery brought a pygmy marmoset onto The Tonight Show, and the animal made a series of decisions that evening that nobody had anticipated. The pygmy marmoset holds the distinction of being the world's smallest true monkey.
Well, it seems comfortable, I guess. No, he wore a coonskin, didn't he? I don't know.
Native to South American rainforests, and this particular one climbed from Embery's arm to Carson's shoulder, worked its way up to his ear, and then settled on top of his head with the complete conviction of an animal that had found exactly where it wanted to be.
Can't go any higher than that. What are you doing with that marmoset on your head?
Carson sat there with this tiny creature perched on his head on national television, and the observation he arrived at, that of all the billions of people on the planet, he appeared to be the only one at a desk with a marmoset on his head.
Seems comfortable up there, I guess.
That's right. And they liked the hair because they would hang on to the female. They want.
Had the quality of a man working through something genuinely absurd in real time. Embery explained the logic of it. Pygmy marmosets in the wild cling to their mothers for warmth and security. And the top of a head was, from the animal's perspective, a perfectly reasonable location.
You name me one other place in this entire world of 4.5 billion people where a man is sitting with a marmoset on his head.
If you turn sideways, it's cute how the tail is just...
Carson accepted this explanation with the composure of someone who had decided there was nothing left to do but sit very still and see how the evening developed. The marmoset eventually made its comfort known in the most natural way possible, and Carson's response to that development was everything the audience had been waiting for.
Okay, I guess you can try to remove him from there if you want to.
He's just getting comfortable.
Well, I can't sit here the rest. I can't sit and talk to people with an animal on my head.
Embery would later describe working with Carson as being caught between a wild animal that could be unpredictable on one side and a comedian equally unpredictable on the other, and that particular night demonstrated exactly what she meant.
Was he spitting? Was that saliva?
Number 6. The two orangutan twins. Joan Embery arrived with a pair of 5-month-old orangutan twins from the San Diego Zoo. And before the animals reached Carson's arms, she gave the audience a piece of context that reframed the entire segment.
These are twins, and they are.
Twin births among great apes are genuinely rare, and this pair represented only the 7th set of twins ever documented at any zoological institution anywhere. Carson acknowledged that fact with the understated appreciation he reserved for things that genuinely landed with him.
Excuse me, I don't mean to laugh at your face. It's a very sweet face. It really is. Look at that face.
And then the twins arrived, and they were expressive, strong, and entirely focused on investigating everything within reach, including Carson's hair, which received their undivided attention. What came through in this segment was something that didn't always surface in the celebrity interviews.
Very strong.
Very strong for their age, aren't they? Yes.
They like to pull hair.
Oh, look at that. I think I'm in love.
The wit and the timing were still there, but sitting with those two small animals responding to the studio lights and the audience and each other with what Carson called their sweet faces and their almost human-like reactions, the composure softened into something closer to genuine warmth.
He looked right at me with...
One of the twins laughed when others were laughing, and the remark Carson made in response stayed with the studio audience long after the taping ended. That kind of authenticity cannot be performed, and every segment Embery brought produced it.
And he'll laugh if you laugh at him.
The man who was known for being unreadable behind the desk turned out to be completely readable the moment something small and alive was placed in his hands. Number 5. The Distracted Dog. On paper, this segment had no business being as funny as it turned out to be.
Having never met this dog, if I gave him a few simple commands, would he be likely to obey them?
Yes.
Hi, Donnie. Come. Come on, Donnie. Come.
Animal behaviorist Dr. Michael W. Fox arrived on The Tonight Show, carrying credentials that were genuinely hard to argue with. A veterinary degree from the Royal Veterinary College in London, a doctorate in medicine, a second doctorate in ethology and animal behavior.
Come. Sit. Sit. Sit, Donnie.
Sit.
Sit. Good dog. That's a good dog.
Slow motion film.
Both from the University of London, years as a university professor, and a nationally syndicated column called Animal Doctor that ran in newspapers across the country. The man knew animals. That part was not in question.
Okay. Isn't that nice? Stay. Stay.
What he brought with him, though, was a dog that had decided this particular evening was not going to involve following instructions. Carson attempted the most basic commands anyone could ask of an animal: sit, stay, come, with a dog he had never met before in his life.
Come, Donnie. Come. Come, Don. Donnie, come.
And that dog treated every single one of those requests as optional. The animal wandered. It investigated. It found the studio environment considerably more interesting than anything Carson was asking it to do, and it made that preference clear at every opportunity. And that's when Carson's particular genius revealed itself, because he didn't push through it or pretend it wasn't happening. Every awkward pause got that slow, patient look. The one that told the audience he found the whole situation just as funny as they did.
Johnny, that wasn't you. That was the camera moving.
And he had no intention of hiding it. The simplest premise on this entire list produced some of the most human comedy the show ever aired, and a dog that simply did not feel like performing that night turned out to be all the material anyone needed. Number 4. The baby gorilla named Jim. Born on October 15, 1973, at the San Diego Wild Animal Park, a western lowland gorilla named Jim entered the world weighing 6 pounds and 4 ounces. And his story began with a complication that required immediate intervention.
He's looking at you.
He's looking at me, yeah. Jim?
His mother, Dolly, was unable to care for him, which meant the park's nursery staff stepped in to hand-raise him from his earliest days. Named in honor of newspaper publisher James Copley, whose generosity had brought Jim's father to the park.
That's a strong little rascal, isn't he?
It really is for his size. That's security.
Hi there. Oh.
He arrived on the Tonight Show stage 4 months after his birth, on his first trip outside the nursery, and his response to the unfamiliar environment was immediate and instinctive. He reached for the nearest source of security, which turned out to be Carson's hair.
A big boy.
Just a little off the top. Yeah. Not many gorillas are born in captivity.
Embery walked the audience through what that moment meant for the animal. At 4 months, a gorilla stays close to its mother, feeds every few hours, and needs a carefully controlled temperature around it at all times. She described Jim as alert and well-coordinated.
1956, and there have been 2 born at the zoo. He's the second one. And I think a total of 35 born in captivity.
Look at that face, would you?
Communicating through small squeaks and grunts, and noted that gorillas take between 8 and 10 years to reach full maturity, eventually growing to somewhere between 400 and 500 pounds.
He's really quite advanced for his age. He's very coordinated, very alert. He likes his milk, but right now he'd rather hold on to your hair.
Jim, little milk? Okay, here we go.
Carson looked at the 6-pound animal anchored to his hair and let that information sit for a moment, and the result was exactly what it sounds like.
This is the first time he doesn't know how to act.
I don't think he's hungry.
The warmth in those segments never felt performed because none of it was. And Jim holding on to Carson's hair while Carson held on to the audience's attention was about as close to pure television as the show ever produced.
Jim. He's really got a hold of my hair.
Because I like it though.
Number 3, the aardvark. June 18th, 1981. And Jim Fowler brought an aardvark onto The Tonight Show with a straightforward explanation of what the animal could do. Nocturnal, powerful, well beyond what their size would suggest, capable of disappearing into the earth with the speed and force of heavy machinery.
They breed at night, and they also breed.
There's my coffee cup.
They breed underground, too.
Yeah. Well, you wouldn't want to see them in the daylight.
Fowler described them as bulldozers, and he meant it. To give Carson's audience a direct look at those abilities, the segment moved to a sandbox set up on stage, giving the animal the space and the material to show exactly what it was built for.
Is that a male or female?
It's very hard to tell. I think.
Well, when you're that ugly, it doesn't make any difference.
These
Are you a male or female? Who cares? I love you.
The aardvark had a different contribution in mind. What it deposited in that sandbox was not a demonstration of burrowing capability, and Carson's expression as he processed what had just happened, the slow recognition, the disbelief arriving in stages.
Right on, aardvark. Come on. He'll come if you.
Come on, pretty face.
Give him a good solid pull there.
Righto.
That's right. Whoop, wait a minute.
The eventual arrival at the particular face of a man who has realized that live television has turned on him in the most specific way possible landed the segment permanently in Tonight Show history.
They're so powerful that they actually can disappear faster than you can catch them. Okay, you're okay.
Even though they're dead.
Oh, I see. No wonder.
Fowler kept his composure with the ease of someone who had spent years filming Mutual of Omaha's Wild Kingdom and was, at the time, running his own wildlife park in Maryland.
Now, I just found out.
An aardvark making an unscheduled contribution to a television sandbox was, relative to everything else in his career, a manageable situation. Carson found it just as funny as the audience did, and that night ended up being one of the most talked about in the show's run.
I was chasing an aardvark one night, and I was trying to catch it.
Were you lonely, Jim, or what? It gets lonely in the jungle, folks.
Number 2. Twiggy the Chinese crested dog. There is a particular kind of guest that Carson never quite knew how to prepare for, and Twiggy the Chinese crested arrived in that category fully.
Did you have any doubt that Twiggy would win this contest?
No, I didn't. I think she's ugly.
Yeah, you think so? This little crest here, it looks like a hot dog that went bad or something.
The breed is naturally hairless, except for a small crest on the head and some hair at the tail, which already placed the animal in unusual visual territory. But Twiggy had distinguished herself further by winning an ugliest dog contest.
I try not to pull it too much, it comes out. You got hair right here.
Oh, I see. There's someone that's 7
And
years
believe
old.
it or not, she's getting prettier as she get older.
Well, she has only one way to go.
A fact her owner shared with Carson with the complete confidence of someone who considered this an achievement worth celebrating, which, to be fair, it was.
In other words, you'd never seen the dog before. Your mother had this dog.
Mother had it and gave it
And
to
she
me.
unloaded the dog on you. When people see that dog for the first time,
Well, I don't take her out too often.
The owner explained that Twiggy's skin sensitivity to sunlight kept her exclusively indoors, that a wool allergy caused her to sneeze, and that taking her out in public had a tendency to stop traffic. Carson worked through the segment with his usual composure.
even with a tan, she ain't ever gonna look. She ain't gonna look like Christy Brinkley. Oh, it's all right. I know everybody probably makes fun of you.
Though the audience's reaction to Twiggy's appearance, which her owner cheerfully acknowledged drew comparisons to both Yoda and E.T., suggested that the dog's effect on a room was not limited to public streets.
You're not wearing wool, are you?
What?
She's allergic to wool.
What does she do with wool?
She'll break out and start sneezing and...
She'll break out and sneeze? She's just like a big Frankfurter.
What came through most clearly was the owner's genuine affection for an animal that the rest of the world found alarming, and Carson, to his credit, treated that affection with exactly the straight-faced sincerity it deserved.
It's the kind of an animal you have to live with a century or two, I think, before you really... She's pointing at something.
Doc suit.
She saw Doc's suit and went into shock.
Number 1. Doc the Celebes ape. On that same night, June 18, 1981, Jim Fowler also brought a Celebes crested macaque named Doc onto The Tonight Show, and Doc changed the energy of the desk within moments of arriving.
He's worshipped as an ancestor to human beings. Hey, give me that
How long have you had him under control, Jim?
Jet black, sharp-eyed, native to the northern tip of Sulawesi in Indonesia, and sometimes called an ape due to its nearly absent tail, Doc was fast, rambunctious, and very focused on the grapes sitting on Carson's desk.
Oh, man,
Doc, little few grapes?
You know, it's...
Carson saw where this was heading, which is precisely why he decided not to share them, and Doc's response to that decision was immediate, physical, and completely unambiguous.
Here's your chair. You want to hold it?
Easy, Doc.
Doc connected with Carson squarely in the face. Carson's words afterward were delivered with a flat, even composure of a man who was still processing what had just happened, while also being fully aware that an audience was watching him process it.
You'll set this chair on.
Man and his monkey.
You'll set this chair on.
Doc, on your chair.
On your... Hey, Doc.
Became one of the most replayed moments the show ever produced. Fowler worked to settle the animal, offering context about its behavior and its nature, while Carson responded with mock self-defense.
By the way, You talk to him by doing
And then, when Fowler suggested offering Doc some grapes, ate them himself instead. The studio audience had completely lost it by this point, and the segment wrapped up as pure, live, unscripted television tends to.
Didn't you hear the bell?
Johnny, I do.
He'd make a nice house pet, Jim.
I knew one of these times, Johnny.
With nobody sure exactly what had happened, and everyone certain they had just seen something they would not forget. Over 30 years and thousands of episodes, Johnny Carson shared his desk with creatures that did not know his name, had no interest in his ratings, and approached live television with the same indifference they would bring to any other Tuesday evening. Joan Embery alone brought more than 500 animals through those curtains across her years on the show, first appearing in 1971 with a young elephant named Carol, after Carson had initially been uncertain about live animals on the set. Jim Fowler appeared so many times across the run of the show that different sources have never quite agreed on the total count, and that number alone tells you something about what those segments meant to the audience. But here's the thing. None of these moments worked because of the animals themselves, as extraordinary as every single one of them was. They worked because of Carson, because of the way he absorbed every surprise and turned every unscripted second into something the audience could feel. The man who was known for being the most controlled presence on late-night television turned out to be at his most natural when things were least under control, and wild animals had a way of finding that out faster than anyone. Nobody else could have held those segments together the way he did. And in the decades since his final curtain, nobody has come close.